Hello, my dear children. Welcome to the learning station. Today, we will study Class 4 English, Unit 5, Chapter Helen Keller. Helen Keller was born on 27 June 1880 in Alabama. She was the daughter of Captain Arthur Henley Keller and Kate Adams Keller. And children, she was born with full sight and hearing. A healthy baby girl was born in a small town in Alabama. Her parents loved her dearly and named her Helen. But one day the baby became ill, and day after day her fever stayed high. Everyone in the family tried to help her to get better, but all they could say was, "There is nothing more we can do. The baby may not live." One day, her mother noticed that Helen was not responding to the dinner bell when rung. Also, she was responding to her mother's hand passing in front of her eyes. Helen's illness left her blind and deaf because she had high fever, so that fever made her blind and deaf. She lives, but she was not the same after her illness. Something is very wrong with her. At last the parents found out what was wrong. The child could not see or hear. Now, this was very shocking for Helen's parents. So, Helen's mother took her to a specialist doctor in Baltimore who suggested that they meet with Alexander Graham Bell. Alexander Graham Bell was the local expert on the problems of children who were deaf. Bell told Keller to write Michelle Agnes, director of the Perkins Institution for the Blind. Her parents felt sorry for her. Helen often cried and held on to her mother. Though Helen could not hear or see, she was a bright girl. Her mother did not agree to send her somewhere for learning. The problem is, they don't know how to reach her. She was locked up inside herself and she became very stubborn. Helen began to grow wild. She would not let anyone comb her hair. Her clothes were always dirty. She was often angry. Sometimes she even lay on the floor and kicked her feet. Mr. Alexander sent Miss Sullivan to teach her. Annie Sullivan from the Perkins Institution for the Blind in Boston remained with Keller from March 87 until her own death. She was a remarkable teacher. So, she started teaching Helen and she gave Helen a doll. Miss Sullivan spelled the word with her fingers into Helen's hand. She made the letters with special hand signs. Helen copied her teacher, but she did not understand what she was doing. Helen liked Miss Sullivan. She was strict but kind. Helen learned to spell in this way a great many words. Her teacher had been with her several weeks before she understood that everything had a name, and within man's children, Keller had learned to feel objects and associate them with words spelled out by finger signals on her palm, to read sentences by feeling raised words on cardboard, and to make her own sentences by arranging words in a frame. Children, in this way, Helen learned 30 words. That day, mother, father, sister, teacher were among them words that were to make the world blossom for her, and in this way she started learning. As we know that where there is will, there is a way. So Helen learned the spelling of 30 words within next few hours after the water. She learned to understand what others were saying by touching their lips and throat. Helen could not speak due to her vocal cords not being trained prior to being taught how to speak. As I told you, one day her teacher made Helen put her hand into the running water, and then she spelled water, and in this way Helen learned the word water. So, children, Helen took the admission to Radcliffe College in 1900, and she was graduated from that college. So, the moral of the story is keep on beginning and failing. Each time you fail, start all over again, and you will grow stronger until you succeed. Helen Keller began to write of blindness, a subject then taboo in women's magazine. She wrote so many stories. So, this lesson ends here. I hope the lesson is clear to you. And now we will discuss the question and answers. Something is wrong, said Helen's mother. What was wrong with Helen? The answer is Helen was unable to see or hear. She was both blind and deaf. Children, blind means a person who cannot see, and deaf means a person who cannot hear. Although Helen could not hear or see, what kind of girl was she? Although Helen could not hear or see, she was a bright and very smart little girl. Who agreed to help Helen? A young teacher, Miss Sullivan, agreed to help Helen. How did Miss Sullivan help Helen? Miss Sullivan spelled many words on her hand day and night to make her understand. She also made the letters with special hand signs. What did Helen learn when the teacher put her hand into running water? When the teacher put Helen's hand into running water and spelled the word water, Helen understood that water means something wet running over her hand. What was the important thing that Helen finally understood? Helen understood that words are the most important things in the world.